Hello everybody, welcome to day 4 of my cycling blog, my 1,000 mile odyssey from Dover to Cape Wrath at the top of Scotland. Day 4, as I say, started this morning in Castle Donington, had a nice fry up, a bit of celeb spotting this morning. It was a very nice hotel, as if you saw yesterday's blog or saw any of the pictures you will know. And I saw only D-list, I guess, celebs, but George Lamb and Larry Lamb. I think he's a writer, and his son something or other. Anyway, I vaguely recognised them. It took me till this evening to remember their names, but they were in the hotel having breakfast, and I saw them last night as well. That they had a camera crew with them. I think I heard them talking about some kind of trip over breakfast, so they might be recording a travel log or road trip or something like that. Anyway, they were there, if anyone's interested. So that's who I'm rubbing shoulders with these days. Set out this morning from Castle Donington. I was not late getting away, but everyone else was more punctual, shall we say, and no one waited for me because I'm only me. So I was last away, but it was quite nice really, just going along at my own pace. Sorry if I'm talking a bit quietly, by the way, in a very quiet B&B tonight, and it's 10 o'clock at night, and everyone can probably hear me. So started cycling a bit later than everyone else, but tootled along, crossed the River Trent into Derbyshire, and felt a bit lacklustre again this morning. Not sure if it's just a bad day. I think it's more just things starting to take their toll now. Had 3 hard days riding. There's no easy days on this one. It's definitely a harder route and journey than my Land's End on the Groats one that I did a couple of years ago. Sort of keep harping on about that. Probably shouldn't keep comparing the 2 trips that much, but you can't not. They're very similar things. So having done one, you always think about it and where the differences lie. But this is definitely a harder trip. There's no the mileage is a bit longer each day, and there's no easy days or sort of rest as such. Whereas with Land's End John O'Groats, it's sort of 3 hard days to start with, then get to Glastonbury, and you're in good shape really. That's how it transpired today, as in not being an easy day. Although on paper, you might think so at a glance, because it was 64 miles. Actually, a lot of hills, and on tired legs after the first 3 days riding, just sort of I ticked over really. I was pretty tired by the time we got into lunch. Had the first rest stop though. Starting to feel more up north now as well. Technically, it might have been the Midlands where we started off, but hearing accents and starting to get a bit more sort of dramatic scenery, especially after lunch. It got really good then. More sort of limestone and dry brick walls and all that sort of stuff. But the first thing I noticed upon setting off actually was my bike was making a bit of noise, just sort of like a bag of old nails really, and that I know exactly what that was. That was from the shower we had yesterday. So I had the shower, and it sort of washes all your muck and whatever onto your bike, and washes off any lube or whatever, and it dried out overnight, and it just sounded crap. So it needed a bit of oil at the first rest stop. But what's his name? Niv, the guide, was really good. He put it up on a bike stand and gave it a thorough going over, and it was as good as gold after that. So hats off to him for that. I guess that's what we paid him for. But he was very accommodating, did a good job there, and it was nice and quiet after that. Had lunch at the Sycamore Inn. Lots of short, nasty climbs on the way to lunch. Short, steep ones. That, like I said, my legs didn't have much go in them. So was ready for lunch. It was only at 34 miles, which is sort of a bit shorter by the stands of this trip. But yeah, I was ready for it by the time it came. Definitely lovely mushroom soup and sandwiches. Recharged the batteries a bit, and got the guys to put more bar tape on as well, because I got my bike serviced before we come away, and I got them to change the bar tape, and they just put the thinnest stuff on. I think one of the guys said it looked like racing tape or something, and it's just got no padding on it, and on a long trip like this, the palms are starting to hurt a little bit, and small things can become big things. So I just got them to get some more tape for us. They're passing the bike shop anyway, and put another layer on, so I've got a bit more comfort there. It's still a bit uncomfortable. I don't know if that's because my hands are now a bit sore, or I probably need some new gloves as well. The padding isn't great on them, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. And like I say, they just leapt into action and sorted that again for me, so that was great. So yeah, lunch at the Sycamore Inn in Parwich, or Parwich, however you pronounce it. Anyway, that recharged the batteries a bit. Headed off after lunch, and getting more towards the Peak District. Scenery got more dramatic, like I said. Just I don't know how to describe it. I'm not very good at all this, but you'll see from the pictures if you bother to look at them. Just more sort of dramatic valleys and scree and bits of rock hanging out here, there, and everywhere, and yeah, just really cool. So starting to get good now. Really looking forward to the next few days and getting up to Scotland. It's going to be what it's all about. Going to be very good indeed. So what else I forgot to tell you? We sort of headed towards Buxton. Buxton was sort of towards the end of the day. Lots of climbing, especially a long climb out of Buxton. Buxton's a very, very pretty place, actually. Don't know much about it before, apart from the fact that it was referenced by the Mac lads. If you've heard of them, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then I won't tell you. But went through Buxton and then a long climb out there to the highest part of the day. Got some cool pics up there, and then we had a nice long descent into wherever we are. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. They've got it in the route notes as Thornsett, but I've not seen any sort of place name or welcome to sign saying that. So it's a very small place, and we're all spread out in different B&Bs tonight. Had to get a lift to the pub where everyone met. So we're in a tiny little place, but it's very nice, very picturesque. Right on the top of the, I don't know if they're moors or peaks, I guess you call them here. But very nice indeed. What else have I got to tell you? There's a really nasty climb at the end of today. I think it's the steepest gradient we've had so far, right up to the pub at the top of the peak, or whatever you call it. It's everyone was talking about that tonight. That one really ramped up a bit, but made it up. I'm not too bad at the steep ones, actually. You just sort of get in the lowest gear, out the saddle and plod, and I was okay. Or maybe I was just feeling alright by that time. I was had a bit more energy in my legs this afternoon, so I'm going to get my head down in a minute. I think the secret to these days, having a good day as much as anything, is getting an early night. I think you have good days and bad days. I try and get all scientific about it and sort of eat the right stuff or have the right energy things, but sometimes you just have a good day or a bad day. There doesn't seem to be any too great rhyme or reason to it, but I guess you can do things to try and make sure you have a better day, but it just seems luck of the draw, really. But head down, and hopefully I'll be better tomorrow. What else have I got to tell you about? I've told you we're staying in the middle of nowhere, really. The internet here is really slow, so although I'm recording this tonight, it won't be going up until tomorrow night at the earliest, so apologies for the late update. I've said I was very tired, the miles are adding up. I said yesterday we'd done 242, so today in total we've done about 305 now, and it was about, I think it was about 1300 metres of climbing in the end, and more to come. Obviously we're getting up, be going through more of the Peak District tomorrow, and we've got the Yorkshire Dales coming up as well, and going up to Penrith, which I know from my coast to coast ride, and it's not flat around there. That much I remember. So much more, more hills to come, but I guess that's the price you pay for cool scenery, so so be it. What else do we have for you? Hard but enjoyable, as I said. Got one bizarre thing today. I stopped in the valley to take a nice picture, had my phone in my hand, just about to take it, and it rang, which was surprising in itself, given the variable signal we have around here. But it was a job agency ringing me about a job, or specifically a job offer. So that was a bolt out of the blue, and to be honest, not what I really need my mind on at the moment. It's the last thing I wanted to be thinking about when I'm on holiday. But yeah, that is bizarre. Anyway, we'll worry about that another time. So I think that's about it, really. Went out, had a nice meal tonight in the pub up the road. It was cool because a couple of the other Peak Tours guys come along, because we're in their sort of neck of the woods now. I've said we're in not Thornhill, Thornsett. You won't have heard of it, but it's sort of on a level with, is it Sheffield? Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we're sort of up with Sheffield now, proper up north now. It's weird, can't believe it. It's just sort of a few days ago we set off from Dover. It doesn't seem real, really, but there we are. Oh, sounds like someone's just coming in. Hope they can't hear me rabbiting away inanely into my phone. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the Peak Tours guys come along tonight. Steve, who runs or owns the whole company, and I've sort of exchanged emails and had phone calls with him before, but never met him in person, so that was cool. And Lee, my old buddy who was one of the guides on my Land's End John O'Groats tour in May 2013. Lovely guy, top bloke, so it was really nice to see him again. Unfortunately, it's like a big group of us, and he was sat down the far end of the table, so I didn't get to catch up and chat as much. It was bizarre, my TV just came on in my room for no apparent reason. Anyway, so Lee was down the other end of the table, so I didn't catch up as much as I would have liked, but really nice to see him anyway, and hopefully we'll catch up another time. So I think that is probably about it. Got in a bit earlier today because it was shorter mileage, although not that much earlier because it was a slow pace, or certainly I went at a slow pace this morning because of the hills. But we've tended to leave about 8:30 in the mornings and got in. I think I got in 5:45 on the first day, maybe about 5 o'clock, or just after the 2 days afterwards. But today we got in early. It's probably like closer to 4 or just after. So that was nice, having a bit more downtime. And that will do for tonight. That's all my boring rambling. We'll catch up another time. Oh, if anyone is actually watching this, feel free to leave some comment on it, because it's always nice to get a bit of feedback, bit of encouragement. Let me know that someone's watching this, and yeah, I'll leave it there. See you another time, peeps. Bye.